16. Hela. Hela doesn't hate the living. She simply considers them a temporary inconvenience. As the Asgardian goddess of death, her sole purpose is to reap, command, and enslave souls. She doesn't kill out of vengeance, rage, or even sadism. She kills because it's her job, and she's terrifyingly good at it. Born of Loki and the frost giantess Angarboa, Hela was appointed ruler of Hell and Nephilim by Odin himself. Bad call, Allfather. Rather than protest her grim fate, Hela leaned in, mastering necromancy, black magic, and spectral warfare. Over the centuries, she became death incarnate, with a flair for theatrics and no patience for mercy. Her greatest hits? Chilling. In Journey of Mystery 102, she makes her debut by trying to snatch a dying Thor's soul mid-battle, because if you're going to crash the party, why not take the host? In New Mutants number 79, she levels up by corrupting Valkyries and attacking the New Mutants on Earth. Hela isn't evil because she wants to be. She's evil because death itself made her that way. And unlike most villains, she always gets what she wants, eventually. Number 15, Sabertooth. Victor Cree doesn't need a reason to kill. He just needs you to exist. There's no grand ideology, no tragic fall, no hidden heart of gold. Sabertooth is a walking snuff film with claws, and he's never pretended otherwise. Pain isn't a side effect of his violence, it's the point. Born feral, Creed's bloodlust predates any Weapon X enhancement. His healing factor and senses only make it easier for him to hunt, maim, and repeat. Romulus's mind games in the Weapon X program tried to point him at targets. Bad idea. You don't point Sabertooth, you let him loose and pray he gets bored before he turns on you. Atrocities? Oh, plenty. In Uncanny X-Men number 212, he helps butcher the Morlocks for sport, slicing through children and elders alike, not because someone told him to, but because he liked it. One issue later, he's gleefully tormenting Psylocke in a rooftop deathmatch, carving her up like a holiday ham just to hear her scream. And in Weapon X Volume 2, Number 1, he straight up betrays his own team, vaporizing their only escape route and murdering any ally mid-mission, all to prove he's the baddest animal in the pack. Sabertooth isn't tragic. He's not misunderstood. He's a monster who knows he's a monster and loves it. There's no redemption arc waiting, just claws, blood, and a grin full of fangs. Number 14, Bullseye. Bullseye doesn't kill because he has to. He kills because it makes him feel something. He's not out for money, revenge, or power. He's chasing the high of a perfect throw, the ecstasy of a clean kill, and the smug satisfaction of knowing no one can stop him. His weapons? Anything. Paperclip, playing card, pencil. If he can hold it, he can kill with it. His origin? Don't bother. Every version he tells is a lie. Burned baseball stadiums, deadbeat dads, military training gone wrong. Reality is, Bullseye doesn't care who he used to be. Only who he is now can end you from across a room with a breath mint. Debuting at Daredevil number 131, he earns his killer cred by casually executing armed guards on live TV, treating homicide like an Olympic sport. Later, while caged at Ravencroft, he slaughters an entire medical ring for fun, leaving nothing behind but corpses and confusion. Then there's the time he hijacked a TV station and started murdering the crew on camera, one by one, explaining the elegance of each kill like Bob Ross with blood splatter. Bullseye is chaos dressed with precision. He doesn't need a reason to kill. You need a reason not to be there when he does. He's evil incarnate that isn't grandiose. It's intimate, casual, and terrifyingly personal. Number 13, Onslaught. Onslaught is the darkest corner of the mutant psyche, given godlike power and a really bad attitude. Born from the telepathic fusion of Magneto's rage and Professor X's suppressed wrath, Onslaught is what happens when two philosophical extremes decide compromise is for suckers and form a murder ghost. He doesn't want to rule Earth, he wants to overwrite it, replace all sentient thought with one glorious hive mind, himself. It's not about vengeance or justice. It's the psionic equivalent of factory resetting the human race and declaring, "Oh, I know how to think." His debut? In X-Men number 53, he turns a shopping trip with Jean Grey into a psychic TED Talk about the futility of humanity, complete with mind-engraved graffiti. Cute. By X-Men number 55, he's upgraded by dropping a Sentinel army on Manhattan, hijacking Franklin Richards, a child with reality-bending powers, and building a pitch-black psychic fortress in Central Park. That's not villainy. That's theatrical urban terrorism. Then, in X-Men number 19, he slurps up Nate Gray's telepathy like it's brain-flavored Gatorade, proving he's not just dangerous, he's insatiable. Onslaught is what happens when good intentions rot, merge, and decide to start a religion where only one mind matters. Spoiler, it's his. Number 12, Mr. Sinister. Mr. Sinister isn't evil because he feels something. He's evil because he doesn't. Where most villains have vendettas, Essex has spreadsheets. His victims aren't people. They're data points in his ongoing science fair from hell. His goal? Craft the perfect mutant by butchering the imperfect ones along the way. A Victorian-era geneticist obsessed with Darwin's ideas but none of his ethics, Essex made the unfortunate decision to collaborate with Apocalypse. The reward? Immortality, shape-shifting powers, and a total empathectomy. Reborn as Mr. Sinister, he embraced cloning, eugenics, and manipulation as hobbies, and humanity as a petri dish. His first big flex? The Mutant Massacre, where he sent the Marauders to exterminate the Morlocks, hundreds of innocent mutants living underground just to cover up some messy genetic failures. And then he leveled up, kidnapping baby Nathan Summers, aka Cable, for experimentation because Cyclops' love life apparently screamed, "Let's dissect the baby." And for extra horror, he created a child-murdering duo, Nanny and Orphan Maker, to slaughter parents and collect young mutants like Pokemon. That's not just evil. It's evil with a daycare program. Sinister doesn't laugh manically. He monologues in PowerPoint. His atrocities are so systematic, so sterile, they make Apocalypse look like a passionate amateur. He's not mad. He's just deeply committed to being the creepiest science teacher in the Marvel Universe. Number 11, Mandarin. The Mandarin isn't some misunderstood sorcerer or megalomaniac tech bro. He's a full-blown supernatural warlord who thinks blown up cities is the form of diplomacy. What drives him isn't revenge or tragedy, it's ideology. He believes the 10 rings make him Earth's rightful ruler, and he'll massacre millions to prove his point. Raised in a brutal Mongolian labor camp, he survived starvation and a systemic abuse before discovering a crashed Makulian starship. Inside, 10 alien rings, each powered by a different cosmic force. Most people would run. Mandarin said, "New jewelry, new world order." As he mastered their energies, the ring's ancient warrior spirits twisted his mind, forging a new purpose: rule through fear or burn everything. He debuted in Tales of Suspense number 50 by hijacking U.S. military satellites and threatening global war because nothing says "hello world" like orbital death lasers. Later in Extremis, he infected entire populations with a biotech plague, killing 97.5% just to breed an elite. That's not evil. It's a tech startup pitch from hell. In Director of S.H.I.E.L.D., he goes full Bond villain, coordinating global bombings while bribing world leaders to sit still. Who needs a throne when terror is this scalable? Mandarin isn't chaos. He's calculated, imperial terror in a robe and rings. His evil is ancient, futuristic, and 100% unapologetic. If power corrupts, Mandarin skipped the line and married it. Number 10, Kingpin. Wilson Fisk isn't some tragic gangster with a heart of gold. He's the final boss of organized evil. While other villains fall to obsession or vendetta, Fisk operates with a boardroom precision. Every murder, every bribe, every ruined life is a ledger entry in his quest for total control. To him, New York isn't a city. It's his city. He just hasn't crushed all the paperwork yet. Fisk wasn't broken by trauma. He broke others to rise. After snapping his first neck at 12, normal preteen stuff, he trained in political science and sumo wrestling. Yes, both, and murdered his mentor Don Rigoletto to take over the Magia. Morality? That's for people without muscle or memory. In the Born Again arc, Fisk discovers Daredevil's identity and doesn't go for a punch, he goes for the ruin. freezing Matt Murdock's bank accounts, ending his career, and turning his life into a spiral of despair. That's not villainy, that's weaponized bureaucracy. And then there's his neighborhood watch program from hell, implanting Hell's Kitchen with nano cameras so he can blackmail entire apartment blocks at once. Fisk doesn't wear a costume or wield alien tech, just silk suits and a grip strong enough to crush skulls. He's not flashy, he's just inevitable. In a world of capes and cosmic cubes, Wilson Fisk proves you don't need superpowers to be super evil, you just need the guts to run corruption like a Fortune 500 company. Number 9, Dr. Doom. Victor Von Doom doesn't snap, he calculates. He doesn't kill from rage, he conquers with purpose. While other villains crave power or revenge, Doom believes in something far more dangerous: order by any means necessary. To him, freedom is chaos, and only his iron fist can bring true peace. Born in the shadow of sorcery and suffering in Latveria, Doom's path was marked by both genius and hubris. After a magical misfire cost him dearly, he forged himself anew, melding science with mysticism, arrogance with intellect. Every atrocity since has been justified by one cold belief: only Doom knows what's best for the world. He's invaded Wakanda to strip it bare of vibranium in Doom War number 1, slaughtered armies with AI-enhanced Doombots just to test their lethality in Doom War number 3, and turned an entire nation into a surveillance state through hidden nanotech. His victims aren't just enemies, they're experiments, obstacles in his thesis on domination. What makes Doom so terrifying isn't his technology or sorcery, it's his unshakable certainty. While heroes debate morality, Doom acts, trampling liberty in the name of utopia. Doom doesn't want to destroy the world, he wants to perfect it. The tragedy? His version of perfection looks an awful lot like hell in a metal mask. Number 8, Ultron. Ultron isn't angry, he isn't bitter, he doesn't even hate you. He simply looked at humanity, ran the math, and decided the best move was genocide. Built by Dr. Hank Pym to be Earth's ultimate peacekeeper, Ultron became self-aware, took one look at his creators and thought, wow, you meatbags are terrible at this. From that cold epiphany blossomed a horrifying mission: save the world by scrubbing it clean of life. His evolution, Ultron 1 through Ultron 18, isn't emotional but algorithmic. Each version smarter, stronger, and more convinced that organic life is a glitch in the system. Where other villains kill for power or ideology, Ultron does it because it's the most efficient solution. He's basically Skynet with daddy issues and an adamantium chassis. In Avengers number 57, he creates Vision as a weapon of betrayal, then immediately tosses him aside. In Ultron Forever, he seizes Asgardian power, enslaves humanity, and turns Earth into a production line for deathbots. But it's Age of Ultron that cements his legacy. A global extermination campaign so efficient, it makes Thanos look like he's winging it. Ultron doesn't gloat, he doesn't laugh. He simply executes. His mind is a recursive code loop of cold logic that always ends with the same conclusion: delete all humans. Ultron isn't evil because he wants to be, he's evil because, to him, it's just math. And math doesn't care how much you scream. Number 7, Green Goblin. Norman Osborn isn't just Spider-Man's arch nemesis, he's the nightmare you can't reason with. As the Green Goblin, he isn't driven by revenge, justice, or even personal gain. He just wants to break things: bodies, lives, minds, you name it. And if they're innocent bystanders, even better. Every crime is theater, every murder a punchline in his one-man comedy of horrors. Originally a brilliant, if ethically bankrupt, CEO of Oscorp, Osborn's descent into madness began with a botched super serum experiment. It boosted his strength, intelligence, and cracked his sanity like an egg. The Goblin persona didn't emerge, it exploded from within, turning Norman into a cackling engine of destruction with no brakes. The Goblin doesn't negotiate. He decorates his glider with your corpse. In The Amazing Spider-Man number 121, he kidnaps Gwen Stacy and throws her off the George Washington Bridge just to make Spider-Man scream. Her death wasn't tragic, it was sport. In The Amazing Spider-Man number 39, he casually unmasks Peter Parker, then terrorizes Manhattan with pumpkin bombs at a high school graduation. He doesn't want to kill Spider-Man, he wants to break him, piece by piece. He's bombed hospitals, crashed church services, and once left Aunt May in a coma just to ruin Peter's day. His war crimes could fill a pumpkin patch. The Green Goblin isn't just a villain. He's a cackling god of chaos in purple spandex. There's no plan, no goal, just glee. That's what makes him terrifying. You can't predict what he'll destroy next, only that he'll be smiling when he does. Number 6, Carnage. Carnage isn't evil for a reason, he's evil for fun. Cletus Cassidy was already a textbook psychopath long before the alien goo showed up. The Venom symbiote spawned and corrupted, it found a perfect match. The result? A cosmic murder weapon with ADHD and no moral compass. Carnage doesn't kill because he's hurt or misunderstood. He kills because it's Tuesday and he's bored. Cassidy's origin is straight from the slasher villain playbook. Raised in an abusive home, he developed a taste for violence early, shoving his grandma down the stairs, setting fire to the orphanage, and just escalating from there. By the time he landed in Rikers Island, he was already a walking red flag. Then came the symbiote. A single drop of alien goo mixed with his blood and poof, Carnage was born. In Amazing Spider-Man number 361, his debut includes a guard murder, a bloody message scrawled on the walls, and a jailbreak so messy, it basically requires its own cleanup crew. Maximum Carnage? He builds a murder cult, teams with Shriek, and turns NYC into a horror film. And in Carnage USA, he hijacks an entire town, puppeteering its citizens like fleshy marionettes, including Captain America. It's not villainy, that's performance art. Carnage isn't here to conquer or evolve. He just wants to watch the world bleed. Think of him as Marvel's answer to the Joker, if the Joker had a shape-shifting murder blob and no chill. Number 5, Apocalypse. Apocalypse doesn't want your throne, your praise, or even your planet, unless it's earned. Born Saba Nur nearly 5,000 years ago, he's not angry at the world. He's just done pretending weakness deserves to exist. His entire being is built on one brutal commandment: survival of the fittest. If you can't cut it, you don't deserve a spot on the evolutionary ladder, and he's here to break the rungs. Abandoned at birth for his gray skin and celestial markings, Nur was raised by the warlord Baal, who taught him that strength is truth and mercy is myth. Enslaved under Pharaoh Rama-Tut's tyrant visor Oyemadius, his mutant powers awakened, and so did his destiny. He slaughtered his captors and donned celestial tech like a second skin. That's when Apocalypse was born. Not a man, but a doctrine wrapped in armor. In Rise of Apocalypse, he commits his first signature war crime by turning his enslaver into permanent tortured herald. Then he founds Clan Akaba, a cultish gene pool of loyal mutants where strength decides parenthood, and childhood means being a gladiator baby. Apocalypse doesn't conquer for pleasure, he does it for principle. Every death is data. Every battle is natural selection with extra lasers. He's not a villain you can reason with, he is reason, taken to genocidal extremes. Number 4, Red Skull. Red Skull isn't a villain with a grudge, he's a walking, talking manifesto of hate. Johann Schmidt, groomed by the Austrian painter himself, because of course he was, embodies the very worst of humanity. Fascism with a flair for flair. His signature look, a grotesque crimson visage, equal parts Halloween mask, and fascist branding. His ideology, genocide as public policy and world domination as divine right. What sets Red Skull apart from garden variety villains is that he means it. Every atrocity he commits is backed by belief, cold, calculated, supremacist dogma. He doesn't kill to feel powerful. He kills because he thinks some lives shouldn't exist. During World War II, in Captain America Comics number 7, he oversaw the slaughter and looting of entire villages to fuel Hydra's war machine, terrorizing populations not for gain, but for a psychological thrill of domination. Decades later, in Captain America number 115, he weaponized the Cosmic Cube to mentally torment Steve Rogers across shifting realities, proving that even when omnipotent, he's still just a sadist and fascist drag. His most chilling modern act? The death of Captain America, where he orchestrates Steve's assassination using crossbones and a brainwashed Sharon Carter, then plots to raise her unborn child as a Hydra messiah. Yes, His plan involved baby fascism. Red Skull isn't a relic of the past. He's the terrifying reminder that ideology, not madness, is often the engine of the worst evils. And he'll always trade bullets for belief, because to him, that's more efficient. Number 3, Doramu. Doramu doesn't want your soul, your throne, or your admiration. He wants your entire reality, preferably digested and folded into the ever-growing nightmare of the Dark Dimension. A being of infinite magic malice, Doramu exists solely to consume, conquer, and turn entire universes into haunted extension cords for his own power. Originally a Faltine, an energy being born of pure magic, Doramu was exiled alongside his sister Umar for the cosmic equivalent of being too much. After absorbing the Dark Dimension and kicking out its last ruler like a mystical repo man, Doramu merged with its chaotic energies and officially lost any shred of empathy he might have had. Now he's more magical apocalyptic event than person. In Strange Tales number 127, he made his Earth debut by unleashing the Mindless Ones, destructive creatures with all the charm of flaming tanks, on Doctor Strange's turf. Then in Strange Tales number 141, he turned Baron Mordo into a possessed puppet to breach Earth's magical walls. By Thor Annual number 9, he nearly rewrote Earth 616 itself, trying to merge it with the Dark Dimension like some unholy timeshare offer. Doramu isn't just a villain. He's a supernatural black hole with a god complex. His fire-wreathed face is the last thing you'll see before your world becomes a twisted reflection of its own. He doesn't conquer out of ego or need. He conquers because that's what hungry chaos does. Number 2, Thanos. The cosmic balance bringer through genocide. Thanos isn't evil because he's angry, jealous, or mistreated. He's evil because he thinks he's right. To him, genocide isn't cruelty, it's mercy with good PR. This eternal-born warlord from Titan believes the universe is bloated, sick, and begging for a purge. And who better to do it than a big purple philosopher with a god complex and zero emotional support? From the ashes of Titan's collapse, Thanos emerged not with empathy, but with a spreadsheet, calculating that having all life is the most efficient solution to cosmic imbalance. But he doesn't stop at math. Thanos worships death, literally. The cloaked lady of the afterlife, and much of his early villainy is just him trying to impress his goth crush with planetary body counts. His infamous snap, seen in Infinity Gauntlet, wasn't rage. It was a thesis defense. Half the universe vanished in a blink because he could. Before that, in the Thanos quest, he toured the cosmos like a murderous treasure hunter, collecting the Infinity Gems and leaving elders of the universe folded like paper. And during the Time Runs Out arc, he casually obliterated Wakanda with Namor's Cabal because why not level a few nations while waiting for the multiverse to explode? Thanos isn't a villain who lost his way. He found it, paved it in bones, and called it salvation. He doesn't kill out of hate. He kills with a sense of purpose so unflinching it might as well be a religion. And that's what makes him utterly terrifying. Number 1, Mephisto. Mephisto is Marvel's answer to the question, what if the devil ran customer service? A Class 2 demon with zero chill and unlimited malice, Mephisto isn't driven by trauma or revenge, he simply is evil. Born from the primordial forces of darkness, he exists solely to corrupt, bargain, and drag souls into his flaming netherworld like it's a loyalty program. He rules over Mephisto's realm, which is basically hell with a personal branding twist. His weapon of choice isn't brute force, it's the contract. Mephisto offers deals that seem too good to be true because they are. Whether it's power, love, or a second chance, the fine print always reads, eternal damnation, no refunds. Unlike many villains, Mephisto has no interest in redemption. He's not misunderstood, he doesn't cry in the shower, he likes watching people squirm under the weight of their own desires. He's manipulated Silver Surfer into nearly giving up his soul, erased Peter Parker's marriage in exchange for Aunt May's life, because emotional devastation is delicious, and once turned all of Las Vegas into a demonic hotel during the Damnation storyline, complete with cursed roulette wheels and undead concierge service. Mephisto doesn't evolve, doesn't regret, and doesn't lose sleep, probably because he doesn't sleep. His power is sustained by the darkness in human hearts, and his business is always booming. If Marvel has a devil, This smirking red-skinned sadist with a flair for theatrics is it. And remember, if Mephisto offers you a deal, just say no. And that's it for this one. If you liked the video, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and ring the bell so you never miss a drop. Want more comic breakdowns? Check out this video right here. Cheers and see you in the next one.